So on the screen, we are having a Java file open. So this Java file I have named as computer code. So the class have created is computer code. So by default, the file will get created and whatever package name we'll give under that package, this class will get created. And in case if we are choosing the option of adding main method to it, then main method also will get added to the class. So if you are not checking the option for adding main method, then the main method is not added. So here in this class, I require the main method. So I have added the main method to it. So public static void main method, which is starting point of execution. And other than this computer and code, I have added another class by name employee to the same package basic.a. So this basic.a package will contain two classes, that is computer code and employee. So computer code class is containing the main method, whereas the employee class is not containing the main method because we can have only one main method throughout the program. So we should have only one main method. So because if we have multiple main methods, then the compiler will get confused because it will be searching for main method and whatever present in main, only that it executes. So now you can see the structure of the project. So project name here is test_1. So we are seeing this in Project Explorer, which explores your project. So here test_1 is our project name under which we are having the source folder inside which we have the package basic, which is having two sub packages A and B. So the sub package A will contain computer code and employee, two classes, two Java classes, which are opened here as two Java files, you can see. And other than this, we are having another package, another sub package for basic, which is B, under which we are having the class student, that is this. So basic.b package contains the class student. So uh, now we have to do nothing with the other package. So I'm keeping open only two files, employee.java and computercode.java. So now in this Java program, we will be seeing what is static in Java program. So static keyword, whenever we use along with a variable or method, then that variable or method will be given the memory only once, and the same memory which is given to it at the time of initialization is used throughout the program. They are not bounded with objects. That is the reason. So because they have to use a single memory throughout the program, they need not use objects. So we need not use object to access them. They are not bounded with objects. Static members are not bounded with objects. So in Java, static can be a variable, static can be a method. So there is no static class, static can be a variable and static can be a method. So let's see what is the difference between static and non-static method. So to see, for saying that static and non-static method and static and non-static variable, I am using here another file or class employee in which I am going to take first the data members as static and non-static. So I am here declaring int id1. So I want to keep it simple. So I'm taking int id1. Another data member I'm taking int id2. So I have taken two data members, id1 and id2, both are of type integer. So I want to keep everything same except the names of the variables. And one of the variable I will be declaring as static. So now let's see how to access these two data members from main method, that is from here. So because the first data member id1 is not static, from main method to access any member from other class, we need to create the object for that class. So the object I'm creating as E1 for employee, and to create object we require this statement, class name followed by object name equal to new operator and followed by the class name or constructor call like this. So here this statement will create object for employee class as E1, and using E1 we can access ID1. So you can see ID2 is also shown here, but at last as it is static, and ID1 it is showing in the starting itself in suggestion. So ID1 I'm giving as 25, and let's use ID2 also, dot ID2. So I'm giving as 25 again, ID1 and ID2. Now let's create one more object for employee. So I will be copying this and pasting again, and that object name I'm changing, only the object name, as E2, and I'm changing the values 125 and 125 again. So you can see even the values I have given same for ID1 and ID2. So now I will be displaying ID1 and ID2. So system.out.println I'm using, and first let's display e1.id1. So e1.id1, and then I will be displaying e2.id1. So with both the objects id1 I am displaying. So I'm here writing e1 id1, id1 for e1 object. Again e2 and id1, sorry. So id1 is the data member, first data member, and this first data member with both the objects we are displaying here. So e1.id1 is 25, e2.id1 is 125. So let's see what will be the object. We are not displaying id2 still. So let's see what will be the id1 result. So when I execute this program, I will be getting e1 id1 as 25, e2 id1 as 125. So let's give proper spacing. Now if I execute after giving proper space, you can see ID1 with both the objects are having two different values, 25 and 125. So because E1 will maintain a different memory for ID1, E2 will maintain a different memory for ID1. So though the ID1 same data member it is both the times, but both objects will be maintaining two different memories for the same data member ID1. So ID1 25 will be stored in E1's memory, whereas 125 will be stored in E2's memory for ID1. Now let's see for ID2, the same way we will be displaying ID2. Now you can see ID2 here is declared as static. So when I display ID2 with both the objects E1 and E2, ID2 E1.ID2 is 25. E2.id2 is 125. Same thing. So exactly same thing we have done with ID2 also. Now let's run and see. So we got both the times 125, you can see. We did not get 25 and 125 as in case of ID1. So here ID2 is static. That is the reason we got both the times 125 as the value for ID2, because it uses only one memory which is given to it at the time of declaration. So while declaring this ID2, it will get some memory. The same memory is used throughout the program. So whenever we create an object for class, a new memory is given to that object. And that object's memory will be used for the data member to store the data member value. But in case of static member, like for ID2, even if you are creating object E1, E2 two different times, the object's memory will not be used for ID2 because it is static. So even if you are using it with object, it is meaningless. So it is not bounded with objects. You can directly use this ID2 with the class name. So class name here is employee. So you can access this ID2 with employee, no need of object for accessing the static member. So directly with class name, you can access the static member. Even for displaying here, you don't require E1 and E2, just employee you can use here. because they are not bounded with objects, and even if you are creating 10 different objects, all the 10 different objects are meaningless for id2 because it is static, and only the memory which is given to it at the time of declaration is used throughout the program, even if you are using it with 10 different objects. So no need of creating objects. Directly you can access it with the class name in which it is present. So id2, employee.id2, if you are accessing, then also it gives the same value like this. So that is the main difference between static and non-static data member. So data member, when it is static, if we are using multiple objects, all the multiple objects can contain different values for that single data member. But if it is static, then if you are using multiple objects, then all the multiple objects, if you are using also, all will contain the same value, whichever is modified recently. So the recently used value or given value will be present in the memory of static member. So static member is given memory only once at the time of declaration, which is used throughout the program. So I hope you understand the static and non-static data member. So in other session, we will be saying static and non-static method. So this was about static and non-static data member, which we have used as ID1 and ID2. So static here is ID2, non-static is ID1. Non-static is accessed with object, whereas static is accessed with class. No need of objects for accessing static member. It is not bounded with objects. It is only because whenever we declare something static, it uses only single memory throughout the program, and this single memory is given to it at the time of its declaration.